Okay, I've literally never told this story anywhere publicly. This is kind of my submission to the TikTok final credits, my application to be a co-host on Catfish, and also just want to say thanks, y'all. TikTok let me quit my job in 2020 because you saw my books on TikTok and you bought them. This book, You'll Come Back to Yourself, which lots of the poems about my catfish are in, literally bought my house. So that's wild. This is gonna be a long story. I'm not a great storyteller. So hold on to your hats, grab a coffee, sit down, let's go. So the year is 2017 and I'm on Instagram, posting poems on Instagram. If you're part of the poetry community on Instagram in 2017, you know the vibe. If you weren't, it was kind of like, there was a lot of people, but there was like little kind of like cliques and like groups. And within a group I was part of, there was this one male poet that was totally anonymous. I'm not going to say his username. Honestly, it just makes me cringe that like any of this happened, even knowing his username. So he was kind of like made his way into this group of poets. And I want to say that because it's wild. Like, this story is wild, and that I like trusted this person is crazy. But I think it's because he was in this community, and like I saw like people I really respected commenting on his stuff and like sharing his stuff and like being really excited about him as a poet. So I was like, oh, okay, like this guy's legit. So we start like building this friendship through like DMs, like responding to each other's stories. I think like it was 2017, like when stories first came out. I don't know, a long time ago. And then like start chatting and like hearing from him more and more. And we're like talking, like to the point it gets to where like talking every day. At this point, I didn't know his real name. I didn't know what he looked like. I also contacts, like I had gone through a lot in 2017. I had just lost my grandma. I went through like what I described at the time as like a twin flame relationship situation, which now looking back, twin flames, it might just be mental illness if that's what you think is happening, but I digress. So I was like in a really like weak, vulnerable spot, and I think that's why like I wasn't picking up on any red flags or really using my discernment. So we're chatting all the time, and it kind of gets to the point where like it starts getting a little flirty, but also he's like trauma dumping on me and like telling me about this relationship that he was in, where he told me that he was in a relationship with this girl. It was very passionate, very like hot and heavy, and she left her husband for him, or her fiance for him. So he was like giving me details about this, screenshotting emails that she sent him and showing them to me. And like, so I was like, I came on, I know, the girls who know, like, I was like, oh, like, I'm gonna support you. Like, she's being so crazy. I know better now. I know better now. So he's like sending me all these details, and like, he made it seem like this was a relationship in person. Like he was hooking up with this person in person, and they were like gonna be together at like before, I guess they had to blow up. It blew up her marriage. She got really mad at him. Now she's crazy. She's emailing him all the time, blah, blah, blah. So I'm like there as support. And now looking back, I'm like, I get why he was doing this. He was doing this to like make me fill this role for him because he like wanted this attention. After that, like he's like said like she blocked her or whatever, so she hadn't contacted him in a while. He like would tell me he was going on dates and like send me a picture of like a wine bottle in his car and like be like, yeah, like I'm going on a date tonight, like blah blah blah. She works at my whatever, and like I'm nervous about it, like give me advice. And so it's like we're flirty but like friends, and we don't live in the same city. Like he lived like 3 hours away from me, so I was kind of like, this could turn into something more, maybe it won't turn into something more, I don't know. But yeah, like now, like I would never do this today. It was 2017 2018, it was a long time ago. So don't judge me. Yeah, so I'm just like, good luck on your date and blah, 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 blah. And then I guess the date didn't go well or something. He also had a dog, which I think made him also seem more trustworthy. So he would like take photos of the dog and send it to me, or like post on his stories walking the dog and be like, oh my God, your dog's so cute. Like single guy with a dog. And eventually it got to the point where, I don't even know how the conversation went down, but he ended up showing me a picture of him. And like the way he like was like, I don't want to share photos, like I like being anonymous, blah, blah, blah. You think he's like a big uggo. Of course he shares a picture of himself and he's like relatively attractive. So it just was like playing this game like, oh, I'm like so secretive and like emotionally vulnerable, but like I'll share it with you. I know better now. Yeah, sure. And like told me his first name and was like, but no one else knows, like don't tell other people. Like he was like referring to the community, which also that was not true. So yeah, we're like getting progressively flirtier. He's not talking to me about like going on dates as much. We're like, I don't know, like, you know, in the, how it goes down in the DMs. Ew. And I'm getting ready to release my first book. So he's a poet too, but because he's like fairly anonymous to me, like I only know his first name. I don't know any like, I don't know, like poetry he's released or like anything that's attached to his real name, that kind of thing. But as I'm ramping up to release my first book, I was like gaining more and more followers on Instagram. I think I had like around 20,000 followers before my first book released. And I think it like started to like, he wanted me to know that like he had also done cool stuff. And this is when the cracks started to begin. So he was like, started telling me about like, he did like I guess like a movie that was shown at like a theater in his hometown, like him and his friends like did this production. So he started like dropping things about himself. And then because I'm a Scorpio, a sleuth, I was like, oh, like you're giving me names of like things you've been in or like, I don't know, like a chapbook that he published that like got an award in his city or something like that. So I was like, I can like now figure out who you are. And like, I swear to God, like at this point we're literally messaging every day. Like it was very, if you're messaging someone so much and you've never met them, like red flags, Kimmy says red flags. I didn't know then. So yeah, so he starts dropping these hints about who he is. I'm to Google. I find the IMDb page of like the director of this like short film that he was in. And then through that I found like he was listed as an actor. So I found his first and last name. And then I went to Facebook. And guess what I found on Facebook? This guy has been in a long-term, I think at that point, 7 years with his partner. And they live together. They've been together for 7 years. He would like call me sometimes. Like this, we were talking every single day, like for hours every day. And he had been in a relationship for 7 years. Okay. So obviously after that, I don't even, like I was kind of scared because he lives 3 hours away from me. And like if you've been in a situation where you thought someone was who they said they were, and then it turns out they're actually have this whole other secret life that they lied to you about, you get like a real fear. Like I was having dreams about like him breaking into my house. Like I was very scared of him, which is probably why I haven't shared the story up until this point. So yeah, Jesus. After that, like I think I like unsent a bunch of the messages I sent to him because I was like, oh my God, I don't want this like crazy liar to be like knowing all this information about me. And I don't even know if I like fully confronted him. Like I don't fully like remember what went down. But then I get added to this group chat. And it was like poets in my poetry community, 3 other girls and a guy, and 2 of them are now married, so that's funny. In this group chat, like I swear the girl that created the group chat was like psychic or like knew something was going on and wanted to like get it out of us. So eventually they're bringing up this guy because he's like still a big poet in the community. Like I haven't said anything. I was so freaked out that like I didn't tell anyone what happened. They're bringing up this guy and then I was like, okay guys, like can you not bring him up so much? Like I kind of triggered. I had like a really bad experience with him. And they're like, wait, what was your experience with him? It turns out that one of the other girls in the group chat had the exact same experience with him that I had with him. And another one of the girls in the group chat who lived in Australia, he lives in northern US and I live in southern Canada. So Australia is very far away from us. The girl in the group chat that I got added to, that's from Australia, was the girl that left her husband for him. So they had never met. So we started off talking about this crazy girl that he had a relationship with that like left her husband for him, and then everything blew up and now they're not together, and she was in Australia. So they actually had never met in person or hooked up, but it did end up ruining her marriage. Very sad. And then that's why some of the poems in You'll Come Back to Yourself are unhinged. I did 10 minutes. If you have questions, let me know. That's crazy. Don't judge me. I was so young. I was just a baby. Bye, TikTok. I love you. And Catfish, I want to be a co-host. Okay, bye.